الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونتوب إليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. So tonight we continue inshallah from Ad-Durus al-Muhimma li'amat al-Ummah, important lessons for every Muslim, by Shaykh al-Baz rahimahullah. The explanation of Shaykh Abdul Razak al-Badr, and we're in the chapter of Tafsir, the explanation of the short surahs. And we stopped last week, we finished Surah 99, Al-Zalzala, the earthquake. So inshallah we'll start with Surah number 100, Al-Adiyat, Al-Adiyat, Surah number 100. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبَحًا فَالْمُورِيَاتِ قَدَحًا فَالْمُغِيرَاتِ صُبَحًا فَأَثَرْنَ بِهِ نَقْعًا فَوَسَطْنَ بِهِ جَمْعًا إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لِرَبِّهِ لَكَنُودٌ وَإِنَّهُ عَلَى ذَلِكَ لَشَهِيدٌ وَإِنَّهُ لِحُبِّ الْخَيْرِ لَشَدِيدٌ أَفَلَا يَعْلَمُ إِذَا بُعْثِرَ مَا فِي الْقُبُورِ وَحُصِّلَ مَا فِي الصُّدُورِ إِنَّ رَبَّهُمْ بِهِمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ لَخَبِيرٌ. Surah Al-Adiyat, which is translated as the chargers, or the charging, the invaders, or something like this, the chargers. And the explanation of the surah will describe the word. So he says, Hafidahullah, in this great surah, Surah Al-Adiyat, فيها قسم من الله تبارك وتعالى بهذه المخلوقات. The first thing is Allah Himself, Jalla wa Ala, He swears by numerous things, more than one thing. Allah swears by something. When we say swear by something, the same way we say Wallahi, we say I swear by Allah, alright? We say I swear by Allah. Or even other people swear by something. Some people, they used to swear. They used to say I swear. They used to swear. A person used to swear on their mother's grave, they would say, or something like that, right? Allah swears by something. And usually a qasam is used, a swear, we only usually swear when a person doesn't believe us, right? We're trying to prove a point. So in order to bring emphasis to what we're saying, we swear by Allah. You tell a person something, they say, nah, it can't be like that. You say, Wallahi, right? You say, Wallahi, I swear by Allah, that's what happened. In order to convince somebody to remove any doubt. And that's the importance of a qasam. Here, Allah swears by something. And we already know that Allah's statement is the truth, which is not in need of confirmation, but Allah swears anyway, which shows, as he's going to say here, shows the importance of that thing that Allah is swearing by. طيب? So for example, in the beginning of Surah Al-Asr, the time, Allah says, wal asr. And in English it says, by the time, but that really doesn't give it the full meaning in Arabic. That's the importance of Arabic. That wow in the beginning, when we say wal asr, wow al-qasam, that means Allah is swearing by time. That's how important time is. That's how important time is. It's so important that Allah swears by it. So here Allah swore by Al-Adiyat. So he says, Wallahu Jalla wa Ala yuqsimu bima sha'a min makhluqatihi. And Allah is able to swear by anything He wants to. Allah swears by many things in the Quran. وَالشَّمْسِ وَالضُّحَاهَا. By the sun, the Surah Al-Shams, the sun, right? Allah swears by the Shams, He swears by the sun. وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَى. He swears by the night. Wal-Asr, He swears by time. So there's numerous things that Allah swears by. And Allah can swear by anything from His creation. He says, وَإِقْسَامُ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى بِهَذِهِ الْمَخْلُوقَاتِ فِيهِ تَشْرِيفٌ لَهَا The fact that Allah swears by these things, whatever it is that Allah swears by, it shows the importance of that thing. And it shows the level of that thing. And it's an honor that whatever he swears by is raised. It holds a high position. وَأَمَّا الْمَخْلُوقِ فَلَا يَجُوزُ لَهُ أَنْ يُقْسِمَ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. As far as the creation for us, then it's not permissible for a person to swear by anything other than Allah Jalla wa'ala. It's not permissible to swear by the sun or to swear by a dead person's grave, as people used to say when we were little, right? To swear on a person's grave, right? It's only permissible to swear by Allah. If we want to say, make an oath, or say Wallahi, we say Wallahi. Or sometimes you hear a person, at least in Mecca, they say, Rabb al-Kaaba. I swear by the Lord of the Kaaba, which is Allah, right? So, the creation, which is us, we're only allowed to swear by Allah only. He says, they call in Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, due to the statement of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, مَنْ كَانَ حَالِفًا فَلْيَحْلِفْ بِاللَّهِ أَوْ لِيَصْمُتْ. As the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says in the hadith that was recorded in Sahih al-Bukhari, and it's recorded in Sahih Muslim, that whoever swears, then they should swear by Allah or they should be quiet. This is one hadith, that whoever swears is to swear by Allah or be quiet, or don't swear at all. وَلِقَوْلِ عَلَيْهِ الصَّلَاةُ وَالسَّلَامُ. And in another hadith, the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam said, مَنْ حَلَفَ بِغَيْرِ اللَّهِ فَقَدْ كَفَرَ أَوْ أَشْرَكَ. That whoever swears by other than Allah, then they have either disbelieved or they have made shirk with Allah Jalla wa'ala. So we're only allowed to swear by Allah. We're not allowed to swear by the moon, or the stars, or the sun, or the galaxy, or dead people. Or some people used to say they would swear on their unborn child. All of those things are impermissible for us to swear by. We're only allowed to swear by Allah Jalla wa'ala. As the Prophet ﷺ said, that whoever swears and swear by Allah will keep silent. And swear by Allah will keep silent. So Allah says, وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبَحًا. In this swearing here, هذا قسم منه تبارك وتعالى بالخيل المنطلقة عدوا. He swears by running horses. And this is a vivid. على متونها المجاهدون في سبيل الله. The horses that are running, they're carrying those who are fighting in the path of Allah Jalla wa'ala. Those who are at war. So the war horses, for lack of better words, those horses that are running, fighting in the cause of Allah, Allah swears by those horses, carrying those fighters who are patient, seeking their reward from Allah Jalla wa'ala. So this shows, number one, the importance, or it shows the level and the status of those animals that are used to fight in wars. It shows the level of those animals, those horses specifically, that are used to fight in wars. Al-Adhu. And he says, Al-Adhu, وَهُوَ السُّرْعَةُ جَرْيِهَا. These horses that are running at a high speed, showing the swiftness, how fast they're running. But yet, this is what Allah is swearing by. The horses that are used to fight in a war, they're running at high speeds. And he says, Tabaraka wa ta'ala, he says in the first ayat, وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبَحًا. And that's word al-ضَبْح, هو النَّفْس الْخَيْرِ. Those horses that are running so fast that their breathing is heavy. That their breathing is a heavy breathing that is coming through the nose or through the mouth. Their breathing is heavy. فَمَعَ شِدَّةِ عَدْوِهَا وَجَرِّهَا يَخْرُجْ مِنْهَا هَذَا النَّفَسُ بِهَذَا الصَّوْتِ. So they're running so fast and they're breathing so hard that you can hear the sound from their breathing. And Allah swears by this in itself, this description. Those horses that are used in the war, that are running so fast you can hear the panting of the animal. Then Allah says in the next ayat, فَالْمُورِيَاتِ قَدَحًا. فالموريات قدحا أي أن حوافرها مع شدة جرها وعدوها وسرعتها عندما تلامس الأرض الصلبة أو الحصى ينقدح منها الشرر والنار. Then Allah swears by the sparks of those horses that are running so fast and breathing so heavy in the path of Allah that when their hooves hit the ground, that sparks are flying out of the ground. That sparks are flying out of the ground. This is how fast the horses are rushing to the battlefield. That the fire, there's fire coming from the ground. وَهَذَا دَلِيلٌ عَلَى قُوَّتِهَا وَسُرْعَتِهَا. And this is a proof. This shows how fast and how strong that the horses are that are being used in this picture. And this all of this shows the honorable level and the importance of these animals that are being used in the war. Then Allah goes on, He says, فَالْمُغِيرَاتِ صُبَحًا. Al-Mughirat are those who attack. Those who attack at a specific time. And that time is Subaha, as Allah says. Subaha, which is the early morning. The early morning. Meaning the battle. They're going to a war. They're riding these horses. The horses are running so fast that the fire is coming out of their feet from the hooves. Heavy breathing. And that they attack in the morning time. Subahan. وَهَذَا هُوَ الْغَالِبُ في هدي النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام وجيوشه يغير على الأعداء في هذا الوقت. And this is the normal time that the Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام, in those wars that were mentioned in the history books and the Tariq, in the history of the Islam and the Seerah, those wars that were held, that the Sahaba fought with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, those wars that they fought, that the normal time they would set out was in the morning time, early time after Fajr. They would, as it mentions in some narrations, they would wait to see if the adhan came from the area they were going to attack first. So this is the normal time that they would set out. So Allah swears by all of these things. The animal that's running so fast, with the heavy breathing, with the fire coming from its hooves. At the time, Subahan, early in the morning, after Fajr, around Fajr time. Then Allah says, فَأَثَرْنَ بِهِ نَقَعًا. فَأَثَرْنَ بِهِ نَقَعًا. Allah says that when they're attacking like this, with this description, fast, breathing heavy, carrying the fire on the back of the horse, so fast that sparks are coming from the ground. Allah says, when this happens, تُثِيرُ الْغُبَارِ فِي سَاحَةِ الْقِتَالِ مِنْ شِدَّةِ الْعَدْوِ الَّذِي كَانَتْ عَلَيْهِ حَتَّى وَصَلَتْ إِلَى سَاحَةِ الْقِتَالِ. That when this happens, that even the dust, as we say, kicks up in the back of the animal. Showing, all of this shows the importance and the level and the tashrif, the honor in that animal with that description. That horse that sets out with the fighter on his back to fight in the path of Allah. That they reach and they rush to the battlefield so much so that the sparks and fire are coming from the hooves of the horse, and that there's a trail behind them of dust kicking up. That's how fast that they're moving. That's how fast that they're moving. فَوَسَطَنَ بِهِ جَمْعًا. Until that horse carrying the fighter reaches the plain, or reaches the field of battle, reaches the battlefield. So Allah swears by these things, showing, and this shows the tashrif, as He says, tashrif, and this shows the honor and the severity and the level and the status of all of these things with all of these descriptions. The horse carrying the fighter, the speed of the horse, the breathing of the horse, the fire coming out from the ground of the horse, from the horse moving so fast, the dirt that's left behind kicked up from the speed of the horse, which is a serious thing, that a person risks their life to fight. In the next portion of the surah, Allah starts to describe mankind. He starts to describe the creation. with a few descriptions that are not necessarily all praiseworthy. They're not praiseworthy descriptions. Allah says, إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لِرَبِّهِ لَكَنُودٌ. That indeed mankind is, as Allah describes us, al-kanud, la-kanud, kanud. Wal-kanud huwa al-jahid lil-ni'mah. Allah describes mankind as being jahid, al-jahid lil-ni'mah. That mankind is a person, they are always ungrateful to their Lord. Mankind is so ungrateful to their Lord, so ungrateful for the blessings of Allah Jalla wa'ala. As Allah says in Surah Ibrahim, if you try to count all of the blessings of Allah Jalla wa'ala, la tuhsuha, that you wouldn't be able to count all of the blessings, things that we don't even think about, blinking, using the bathroom, being able to scratch when you have an itch, the healing of the skin, how the skin automatically heals. All of these things that we don't even think about, the heart pumping, that the heart pumps for 50, 60, 70, 80 years, maybe 90 years, and we don't even have to think about it. All of those things that are ni'mah, that are blessings from Allah, that we don't even have to think about, that mankind is ungrateful. And Allah says that إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لِرَبِّهِ لَكَنُودٌ, that indeed mankind to his Lord is ungrateful. That mankind is ungrateful. And he says, فَهَذَا حَالُ الْإِنسَانِ عُمُومًا. And this is the general description of the human being. The general description of the human being is that human beings are ungrateful for the many blessings that they have. He says, فَيَكُونُ قُلُودًا جَاحِدًا لِنِعْمَةِ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ وَفَضْلِهِ وَمِنِّهِ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى. So generally you'll find that many people are ungrateful for the many blessings, the numerous blessings. Those things that, as I said, some things we don't even have to think about. Some things we don't even have to think about. They just are from Allah's virtue and blessing upon us. That we have a brain, aql. That Allah distinguished mankind from the animals with intellect. That we're able to distinguish right from wrong. We're able to make decisions. That all of these things are from the blessings of Allah Jalla wa'ala. He says, وَمُنْسِكًا شَحِيحًا بَخِيلًا لَا يُنْفِقْ وَلَا يَبْذُلْ مِمَّا آتَاهُ اللَّهُ. Also, إِلَّا مَنْ سَلَّمَهُ اللَّهُ وَنَجَّاهُ. Also that mankind is stingy. Stingy. That generally people don't want to give. They don't want to let go of their wealth. They don't want to give. He says, وَلَا يَبْذُلُ مِمَّا آتَاهُ اللَّهُ. From what Allah has given a person, that a person does not want to part with their wealth. That is hard. It's hard to part and give. Meaning give charity, give sadaqah, paying the zakat, giving a sadaqah, giving to those who are in more need or the more needy. Allah says after that, وَإِنَّهُ, meaning mankind, على ذلك لشهيد, أي شهيد على نفسه بهذه الصفة الذميمة. That mankind is even going to be a witness, that we are a witness over our own selves to our stinginess. That we are a witness to our own selves, to our stinginess, and to our ungratefulness. To our ungratefulness. And gratefulness, thankfulness is shown to Allah Jalla wa'ala. A person shows their thankfulness to Allah for the blessings by staying and being obedient. By staying obedient, being obedient to Allah Jalla wa'ala, is staying away from disobedience, staying away from ma'siyah. These are ways to show a person's thankfulness and gratitude, rather than just saying it with the tongue. A person may say Alhamdulillah. If a person says Alhamdulillah all day and they don't pray, how grateful are they? They say Alhamdulillah, that we thank Allah for all of our blessings, but a person doesn't pray, or they don't fast Ramadan, then how grateful is a person, even though they may have said it with the tongue? Even though they may have said it with the tongue, how grateful is a person for the blessings if they don't carry out the obligatory, the obligations that we have on a daily basis. So Allah says that indeed mankind to himself is a witness to his stinginess, and we are a witness over ourselves to our ungratefulness for the blessings of Allah Jalla wa Ala. And Allah says, وَإِنَّهُ لِحُبِّ الْخَيْرِ وَإِنَّهُ لِحُبِّ الْخَيْرِ أي المال, that indeed he loves money. And this is a description of, a general description. Allah is mentioning a general description of mankind, that they love wealth. And Allah says, لَشَدِيد, لَشَدِيد, and He describes it. There's a severe love that mankind, Bani Adam, as it says in a lot of shirts now, Bani Adam, mankind has a severe love for wealth and money. As Allah says, وَإِنَّهُ لَحُبِّ الْخَيْرِ لَشَدِيد, that indeed, after He says mankind is ungrateful, and that mankind is a witness over himself of being ungrateful, He says after that mankind has a severe love for wealth and money. The Shaykh says, يعني نفسه لا تقنع مهما أوتي من المال, that a person's soul is never satisfied, no matter how much a person is given from wealth, that their soul is never satisfied. They always want more. That they always want more. وَيُحِبُّ الْمَالِ حُبًّا جَمًّا, that they always are craving. The soul always craves for more money and more wealth. And this is the description that Allah gives in this surah. He says, حُبًّا شَدِيدًا, a severe love, because we all love money. We all love wealth. We all like to have enough money to do the things that we like to do. But Allah describes it as that mankind has a severe love, that to the point where they're never satisfied. And if we look at people like a lot of entertainers, with all of the money that they have, a lot of times they're miserable. They're miserable, they're not happy. They're looking for happiness. Even though with all the money, they're never satisfied. They're not satisfied, there's something still missing. Even with all the money, there's something still missing. And we see this a lot in the entertainment industry, that they're never satisfied, that the nafs, the soul, is never satisfied due to the severe love of wealth. After this, Allah Jalla wa Ala describes or mentions some things that will help a person stay away from these descriptions that He just described. Being ungrateful, being stingy, the severe love of wealth, being overboard in our love for money. So Allah mentions some things, as He says, نبه تبارك وتعالى على ما يعين العبد على النجاة من هذه الخصال. Allah mentions now, how can we save ourselves from falling into these type of descriptions, not to be like this. So Allah says, أفلا يعلم إذا بعثر ما في القبور, doesn't mankind know? Don't they know that they will be resurrected from their graves? Don't they know that they will be pulled out and resurrected from their graves? He says, وَهَذَا أَمْرٌ جَدِيرٌ بِالْعَبْدِ أَنْ يَكُونَ عَلَى ذِكْرٍ لَهُ وَعِلْمٍ بِهِ, that a person, that we should always be conscious, and we should always remind each other that there's a day when we will be raised out of our graves, and we will have to answer for all of our actions and all of our statements. طيب. وأن هذا الجحود لنعمة الله وهذا الحب للمال والانكبار عليه والانشغال به عما خلق العبد لأجله وأوجد لتحقيقه, that all of these things, this love for wealth, and this being ungrateful, and this severe love for wealth, and being busy, being overboard and being busy with other than the thing that we were created for, being busy with things that distract us from the worship of Allah Jalla wa Ala, that these things, after all of this, after all of this, that a person after this will be resurrected from their grave. وَيَقُومُ النَّاسُ مِنْ قُبُورِهِمْ لِلْمُجَازَاتِ وَالْمُحَاسَبَةِ. And after that the people will be raised up and resurrected out of their graves in order to stand and be rewarded and be held accountable for their actions. So this is one thing that will aid a person. This is one thing that Allah mentions that should protect us from being ungrateful. Something that should protect us from being stingy. Something that should protect us from being overboard in our love for wealth is that we constantly remember that none of it goes to the grave with us. And number two, that we're going to be raised up out of our graves, that we'll be raised up out of our graves in order to be held accountable for our actions. And then Allah goes on and He says, وَحُصِّلَ مَا فِي الصُّدُورِ. The next thing that should help us stay away from these things is that يُحَصَّلُ فِي ذَلِكَ الْيَوْمِ مَنْ طَوَتْ عَلَيْهِ. That those things will be revealed. Everything will be revealed Yawm al-Qiyamah. There will be no secrets. We will be held accountable for all of our actions and all of our statements. So everything will be revealed. لِيُجَازَ. So that we will be rewarded. Everything that we held in our hearts and everything will be revealed so that we can be rewarded for our actions. So that the slave will be rewarded عَلَى مَا كَانَ عَلَيْهِ مِنْ شُحٍ وَبُخْلٍ. So that a person will be held accountable for their stinginess, for being stingy. Will be held accountable for being stingy. وَقُنُودٍ وَغَيْرِ ذَلِكَ مِنَ الْخِصَالِ الذَّمِيمَةِ. And that a person will be held accountable for being ungrateful to Allah Jalla wa'ala. For being ungrateful, will be held accountable for being ungrateful, not being thankful for the numerous blessings that we have. And Allah says lastly, إِنَّ رَبَّهُمْ بِهِمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ لَخَبِيرٌ. That indeed their Lord is an all-watcher. That day is an all-knower. مُطَّلِعٌ عَلَى أَعْمَالِهِمْ الظَّاهِرَةِ وَالْبَاطِنَةِ الْخَفِيَّةِ وَالْجَلِيَّةِ. That Allah Jalla wa'ala is an all-watcher over all of our actions. Those actions that are apparent, that everybody sees, and those actions that are done in private. That Allah is all aware and He knows everything we do. That there's nothing we can hide from Allah Jalla wa'ala. Even if we're the only ones in the room. Even if no one else is watching. That Allah Jalla wa'ala is Al-Khabir. As this is one of the names, Ism min Asma'illah. One of the names of Allah is Al-Khabir. So a person's name may be Abdul Khabir. Abdul Khabir, the slave of Al-Khabir. وهو العليم ببواطن الأمور وخفايا الأشياء كعلمه بظاهرها. That Allah Jalla wa'ala is the all-knower. He knows everything. Everything that is hidden and everything that is apparent. That nothing is hidden from Allah, our Lord Jalla wa'ala. And this will be something that prevents us from disobedience. This should be something that prevents us from disobeying Allah Jalla wa'ala openly and secretly. And this is why it is important to keep people around us that will remind us to stay away from disobeying Allah Jalla wa'ala. Because Allah Jalla wa'ala is all aware. He's all knowing of everything we do in the secret and in open, which is the importance of having good companions. Good people around you who will remind you to be upright, who will remind you to pray on time, who will remind you to stay away from the haram. So Al-Khabir, as Allah says in the last ayat, which is an ism min Asma'illah, meaning Al-Alim, the all-knower of everything. And this is the end of Surah Al-Adiyat, which is Surah number 100. And we'll continue and move on to Surah Al-Qariyah. Surah Al-Qariyah, which is Surah number 99. Surah number 99, Al-Qariyah. And Al-Qariyah, which is one of the names of Yawm al-Qiyamah. One of the names of the last day is Al-Qariyah. And there are many names that Allah Jalla wa'ala described Yawm al-Qiyamah with. the last day. The last day has been described in the Quran with many different names. Al-Qariyah, Al-Qariyah, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْقَارِعَةُ يَوْمَ يَكُونُ النَّاسُ كَالْفَرَاشِ الْمَبْثُوثِ وَتَكُونُ الْجِبَالُ كَالْعِهْنِ الْمَنفُوشِ فَأَمَّا مَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَهُوَ فِي عِيشَةٍ رَاضِيَةٍ وَأَمَّا مَنْ خَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَأُمُّهُ هَاوِيَةٌ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا هِيَهْ نَارٌ حَامِيَةٌ. Al-Qariyah. And Al-Qariyah, as he says, is one of the names. And قد تعددت أسماؤها لتعدد صفاتها. That the names, there are many names because the last day has many different descriptions. So the name fits the description. The name fits the description. طيب. For example, another name is Al-Ghashiyah. هل أتاك حديث الغاشية. Al-Hashr, the gathering. Al-Hashr, Surah Al-Hashr, the gathering, the day when everyone will be gathered to be held accountable. So the names are based on the descriptions of some of the events that will happen Yawm al-Qiyamah. And this one, Al-Qariyah. He says, Al-Qariyah, التي تقرع القلوب, the shaking of the heart, something that shakes the heart. Something that shakes the heart, puts fright, puts fear in the heart. Puts fear in the heart, a serious fear in the heart, and it frightens the heart. And Allah says, ما القارعة وما أدراك ما القارعة وهذا استفهام للتهويل. Allah says, and what is Al-Qariyah? What is it? And what will make you know, as it's translated, what will make you know what Al-Qariyah is? What is Al-Qariyah? And this question is not a question as if Allah Jalla wa Ala doesn't know what Al-Qariyah is. It's not a question as if Allah doesn't know. But this question is in order to put fear in a person, the reader. That when a person hears this name, Al-Qariyah, when they hear the day of judgment mentioned, when the day Yawm al-Qiyamah is mentioned, that a person should have fear due to the things that are going to take place Yawm al-Qiyamah. Due to the things that are going to take place Yawm al-Qiyamah, a person should have fear. So this questioning of Mal Qariyah, wa ma adraka Mal Qariyah, not that Allah Jalla wa Ala doesn't know what Al-Qariyah is, but what will make you know? What will make a person know the severity and the seriousness of Al-Qariyah? He says this is the tahweel. This is to put fright and fear in the hearts of the people. And it's also, he says, بيان عظم ذلك اليوم وأنه يوم عظيم يوم شديد. It also shows the severity of that day, how serious Yawm al-Qiyamah is. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْقَارِعَةُ. What is going to make you understand the severity and the seriousness of Yawm al-Qiyamah, the last day? What is going to make you understand how serious the standing is before Allah Jalla wa Ala? That it's a serious day, it's a great day, and it is going to be a day that has many descriptions, that come in many ahadith and many different ayat in the Quran. Allah says after that, يَوْمَ يَكُونُ النَّاسُ كَالْفَرَاشِ الْمَبْثُوثِ. He says that day, that mankind, حَالُ النَّاسِ, that mankind will be, he says, وَاخْتِلَاف بَعْضِهِمْ بَعْضًا. They will be scattered, in disarray, not knowing what to do. Scattered كَالْفَرَاشِ, the same way that something may be woven together, that a garment may be woven together, and it looks as if it's chaotic, that the people will be running through each other, running around each other, trying to get away, running in disarray. And it is also, he says like the statement, كَأَنَّهُمْ جَرَادٌ مُنْتَشِرٌ. As Allah says in Surah Al-Qamar, in the 8th ayat, it is this, they are spread out, jarad, that they're running, that they're scattering, trying to get away Yawm al-Qiyamah. And all of this shows the severity and the seriousness of Yawm al-Qiyamah, that the people will be running. As Allah says in another ayah, that the man will run away from his wife. and the wife will run away from her husband, and the person will run away from their children. That every person will be concerned about their own selves, Yawm al-Qiyamah. So in this, that they will be scattered. They will be scattered around Yawm al-Qiyamah. وَتَكُونُ الْجِبَالِ, that the mountains, كَالْإِهْنِ الْمَنْفُوشِ, that the mountains, those strong mountains that are holding the earth down, those huge mountains, wherever they may be in whatever part of the world, that those mountains will be kasuf, as Allah says, كَالْمَنْفُوشِ, kasuf. They will be light, weighing the weight of wool, the material wool. That's how light they will be. As Allah Jalla wa'ala He's able to do all things. So Yawm al-Qiyamah, we might look at those mountains now, in their greatness and how big they are, right? But Yawm al-Qiyamah, Allah says there will be kal-manfush. They will be light. They will be severely light, even though they were huge in the dunya, right? They were big in the dunya, huge, right? Qawi, that they will be light in Yawm al-Qiyamah, kasuf, or it says kalmanduf, like cotton, weighing the weight of cotton, the material cotton Yawm al-Qiyamah, as Allah will cause them to be. After this, Allah Jalla wa'ala describes again, just like in the last surah, He described mankind. He also describes mankind in Surah Al-Qariyah. Bayan hal al-nas. He says, فَأَمَّا مَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ أي رجحت بالحسنات والطاعات وعنواء قربات فهو في عيشة راضية. For the one whose scale, in the scales, these scales are real, the one whose scale ثقلت موازينه, that whose scale رجحت بالحسنات, that his good deeds or her good deeds outweigh her bad deeds, that her obedience outweighs her disobedience, or his obedience outweighs his disobedience, right? And his worship outweighs his disobedience. For this person, Allah says, فَهُوَ فِي عِيشَةٍ رَاضِيَةٍ. They will live in pleasure, meaning فِي جَنَّةٍ الْخُلْدِ. They will live in eternal bliss or eternal pleasure, which is in paradise. فِي نَعِيمٍ مُقِيمٍ لَا يَحُولُ وَلَا يَزُولُ أَبَدَ الْعَابِدِ. They will be there, they will be in the paradise forever. That they will dwell in the paradise forever, for the one whose good deeds outweigh their bad deeds, their obedience outweigh their disobedience, that their obedience outweighs their disobedience. Allah said about this person, فَهُوَ فِي عِيشَةٍ رَاضِيَةٍ, that they will live in eternal bliss, as they say. They will live in the paradise, the Jannah. He says, and this is as it comes in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, al-hadith al-sahih. And this hadith is in Sahih Muslim. In Sahih Muslim, it is, as we said before, the third most authentic book that the Muslims have. After the Quran, number one, and after Sahih al-Bukhari, number two, comes the collection of Imam Muslim, Sahih Muslim. The hadith in Sahih Muslim says, إذا دخل أهل الجنة يقول الله تبارك وتعالى تريدون شيئا أزيدكم. The hadith says, when the people of paradise enter paradise, when Ahl al-Jannah, the people, when they enter paradise, Allah will say to the people of paradise, is there anything else that you want that I should give you? Do you want anything else? تريدون شيئا أزيدكم. Do you want anything else? Allah will say to the people of paradise, فيقولون ألم تبيض وجوهنا. Didn't you brighten our faces? Didn't you already brighten our faces? ألم تدخلنا الجنة وتنجنا من النار. Didn't you enter into the paradise? Didn't you enter us into the paradise already? Because Allah is going to ask, do you want anything else? They're already in the paradise. So they're going to say, didn't you already brighten our faces, whiten our faces, put the nur, the light on our face? And you already entered us in the paradise. And you already saved us You saved us from the hellfire. قال فيكشف الحجاب. So the hijab will be removed from in front of Allah Jalla wa'ala. فما أعطوا شيئا أحب إليهم من النظر إلى ربهم عز وجل. So they will not, the believers, those people in paradise, will not be given anything greater. Anything. They will not be given anything greater. The people of paradise will not receive anything greater than the fact that they will be able to look at Allah Jalla wa'ala Yawm al-Qiyamah. جعلنا الله أجمعين منهم بمنه وكرمه. May Allah make us from those people of paradise who receive this reward. I mean, this is the first thing. This is the first type of person. Allah says that their good deeds outweigh their bad deeds. Their good outweighs their evil. Their obedience outweighs their disobedience. For this person, Allah says they will live in eternal pleasure in the paradise. And we heard the hadith about the people of paradise. Secondly, Allah describes another group of people. Allah says, وَأَمَّا مَنْ خَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُهُ. The opposite. The one who's بِالسَّيِّئَاتِ وَالْمَعَاصِ وَالذُّنُوبِ. The one whose disobedience on his scale or her scale, their disobedience outweighs their obedience. For this person, it's a different situation. Their sins outweigh their good deeds. Their disobedience outweighs their disobedience. Meaning, their scale is heavier, their disobedience is heavier than their obedience. Meaning, most of their actions are in disobedience to Allah Jalla wa'ala. That most of their deeds are evil. Their evil deeds are heavier than their good deeds. For this person, Allah Jalla wa'ala says, فَأُمُّهُ هَاوِيَةٌ هَاوِيَةٌ فَأُمُّهُ هَاوِيَةٌ أي أن النار هي مأواه وهي مكانه. That for this person, that their destination, where they will land, is the hellfire. Their destination is the hellfire. That's why it is of utmost importance that we use our time for obedience. That we use our life and make sure that we are racking up good deeds, piling up good deeds, so that we come Yawm al-Qiyamah with a mizan, our scale, and our scale is heavy, so that we fall into the first group, and that we don't fall into the second group of people. And there's a second group of people, as Allah says in Surah Saajid, that He will definitely fill the hellfire with mankind. The hellfire will definitely be filled. The hellfire will definitely be filled with mankind. That Allah says in Surah Saajid, He will definitely fill the hellfire with mankind, and it says in Surah Al-Qaf that once the hellfire is filled, that Allah will ask the hellfire, that the hellfire will be questioned. And the hellfire will be questioned, or the hellfire will ask Allah, are there any more? Are there any more to come? The hellfire is real, brothers. The hellfire, an-nar, is real. The hellfire is real the same way Al-Jannah is real. The paradise is real, and the hellfire is real. Allah says, فَأُمُّهُ هَاوِيَةٌ. That person's place of rest will be the hellfire. وَقِيلَ أُمُّهُ. What is meant by ummuhu? As here means their place, their resting place, where they will land. In some of the tafasir, it says, رَأْسُهُ هَاوِيَةٌ أي يهوي على رأسه في النار. Meaning, some of the tafsir says this means his head, saqat, that he will fall in the hellfire on his head. On his head. As it mentions in another place in the Quran, that people will be dragged on their faces in the hellfire. That people will be dragged on their faces in the hellfire. And this is one tafsir for فَأُمُّهُ هَاوِيَةٌ. That a person will be dragged, or they will be placed on their head in the hellfire. So this is the second group of people. The first group, as Allah says, that their good deeds outweigh their bad deeds, that their obedience outweighs their disobedience, and those people will be from Ahl Jannah, the people of paradise. The second group of people are the people who they're evil. Their evil outweighs their good. Their disobedience is heavier than their obedience. Their sins are heavier than their good deeds. These people, Allah says, for ummuhu hawiyah. These people, Allah says, that they will be in the hawiyah, the hellfire. Then Allah says, وَمَا أَدَرَاكَ مَا هِيَ. What is this hawiyah that Allah describes as? He doesn't say an-nar. He didn't use the name, the word in this ayah, an-nar, the fire. He said hawiyah. He named the hellfire in this ayah, hawiyah. And then he says after that, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا هِيَ. And what will, and this is another question, showing the severity and the seriousness of the hellfire. Showing تَعْظِيمٌ لِأَمْرِهَا وَبَيَانٌ لِخُطُورَتِهَا. Showing how serious and severe the hellfire is. Allah says, and what will make you know? What will make you know what the hellfire is? That same hellfire that Allah said in Surah Al-Fatir. Allah said in Surah Al-Fatir that the people in the hellfire يَسْتَرِخُونَ فِيهَا رَبَّنَا أَخْرِجْنَا نَعْمًا صَالِحًا غَيْرَ الَّذِي كُنَّا نَعْمًا. Allah said in Surah Al-Fatir that the people in the hellfire will be screaming the word. They will be screaming, "Oh our Lord, take us out of the hellfire and send us back to the earth so that we can do righteous deeds." This hellfire that Allah describes all through the Quran, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا هِيَ. Allah says, نَارٌ حَامِيَةٌ. He describes it, he says, نَار حَامِيَةٌ. He describes it as being حَامِيَةٌ, نَارٌ شَدِيدَةٌ مُحْرِقَةٌ. A severe fire. A severe fire, muhrika, a severe destructive fire. A severe destructive fire. That this is a real hellfire. This is from the belief of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, that we believe the hellfire is real. The hellfire is real, just like the paradise is real. That the hellfire is real. And Allah says that the hellfire is men and stones. The fire of hell will be fueled. What's going to keep the fire of hell fueled and keep it going is men, mankind, and stones, as Allah says in another ayah. And that hellfire will be filled, and the hellfire will be asked, do you have any more? Are there any more coming? And the hellfire, the people of hellfire, they will be screaming to get out. Send me back to the earth so I can do good deeds. غَيْرَ الَّذِي كُنَّا نَعْمًا. Not like the stuff that we used to do. Send us back so we can do good deeds. Not the stuff that I used to do. Send me back so I can fix myself. But at that point, it's too late. So Allah describes it, نَارٌ حَامِيَةٌ نَارٌ شَدِيدَةٌ مُحْرِقَةٌ. A severe, destructive hellfire. وَقَدْ جَاءَ فِي الْحَدِيثِ. And it comes in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, which is in Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه, where the Prophet ﷺ said, describing the hellfire, he said, describing the hellfire, قال ناركم جزء من 70 جزءا من نار جهنم. Where the Prophet ﷺ, he said, showing the severity and the seriousness of the hellfire, the severity, the seriousness and the severity and the destructive trait that the hellfire contains. The Prophet ﷺ said, Narukum, your fire, meaning the fire that we have in this world, the fire that we know that we can't withstand, the fire that we can't withstand now in this world, right? He said, Narukum juz'un. This is just one juz. It's one portion. It's only one small portion. Min 70 juz'an. From the 70 portions of the hellfire in the hereafter. Meaning the hereafter is made up of 70 portions, if we'll say. In the hereafter, the fire is made up of 70 portions. The fire that we know in this life is only one juz. There's only one portion of the 70 portions of the Nar Jahannam, the hellfire. A'adana Allahu minha. May Allah Jalla wa Ala protect us all from the hellfire. Ameen. And this is the end of Surah Al-Qariyah, which is one of the names of this is one of the names of Yawm al-Qiyamah. And it is a name based on, as we said, the names are based on the events that are going to take place Yawm al-Qiyamah. And from them is Al-Qariyah, the shaking and the scattering of the people. And we'll stop there, inshallah. We'll pick up next week with Surah Al-Takathur. Al-Takathur. Allahu a'lam wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Any questions? Jazakallah khair.